Hello, wizards of the stock market wonderland. Welcome to another vlog, and today I'm vlogging out of beautiful French Bordeaux, where we are talking about the latest earnings of Uber. And before diving into the numbers, I want to say that I'm a huge Uber fan of the product, but not of the stock, because I'm using Uber everywhere I travel. You know, I'm using Uber at home in Dubai, and it's super great product. I think the idea to use people, existing cars and resources to deliver and serve other customers is super brilliant, and how it's solved and how it worked in so many countries seamlessly. I think it's a big plus, but I think also there's huge risk in the future of Uber, and this is what we will talk about today, as well as the Uber Q2 earnings, which was not so good, less than expected, and the stock tanked after the market closed up to 12%. I think now they're around minus 5 or 6%, so huge drop here today. So let's dive into it, but before we dive into it, make sure to subscribe and thumb up this video. I love you guys. Wolf of Dubai, let's go. So welcome to another vlog, and make sure you subscribe if you're new here, or thumbs up the like button if you are returning or new. Doesn't matter, you always can thumb up this video. So welcome to another vlog. Today we are talking about Uber and their earnings and so on. So make sure that you stay tuned, because very valuable information if you are considering to invest in Uber, or also to also just study the stock and know a little bit more about the ride-sharing business. I think it's one of the hardest business in the world, because you have for once actually just the software that makes you differentiate from different products, and of course the building up a brand. And so the market entry is, except the size, not so big. So you know, if Facebook, Apple, or whatever bigger company that have already a huge user base could start with ride sharing, they would be very huge and could immediately enter the market. Though I think, of course, the Uber product, they are very strong as well. I don't like you know, that I believe that in a couple of years, with the newest technology on the market, like upcoming self-driving cars, you know, drone delivery and so on, you will have a lot of competition from the fundamentals of Uber, that Uber believe to solve the transportation issue worldwide, not only for food delivery or people transportation or ride sharing, but also, you know, they want to tackle the last mile delivery with their network, which will be very interesting. Though it's not a sustainable model yet, Uber still making a big loss, and we will see it when we will dive into the numbers. And I think, you know, Uber has it's a great growth story. All right, without any doubt, Uber is like a huge story that, you know, super much respect how they could build it from a small startup in San Francisco for ride sharing to this worldwide giant that make billions of revenue every year from a very small idea. And just a matter of 10 years they did. I think they did it so very short of time as well. But I think meanwhile their market cap is around $80 billion, I think. So you see that I believe that they entered the IPO in the stock market way too late, and you know, they are showing signs of lesser growth. And you know, as a huge growth company and growth stock story, it's hard to sell that on the stock market. And you know, the stock market is very hard on this kind of stocks, and they punish this kind of stocks very hard. The valuation is though very high, in my opinion, if you consider all the metrics that you can use. Though I think it's very interesting how they position into the market in the upcoming technology revolution as well. You know, self-driving cars, they are experimenting in this area as well. So let's see but it's not a stock for me, definitely. And I think they entered the market very, very late stage, too late in my opinion. They could earlier, but they also couldn't because they had a lot of cultural issues inside the company. You know, there was Travis Kalanick that was fired as CEO or removed from the company, similar to Apple in some ways with Steve Jobs. However, you know, he was the founder of Uber and was removed. He is still one of the main shareholders with around 20%, I think, of the company. So he you know, has a lot of say into the company for sure, guaranteed. And I believe that Uber will have a huge challenge in the next couple of months and years. And before diving into all these things, they had a lot of problems with the culture of the company. You know, they had problems with the drivers, they pay too less, the conditions are not good, and so on and so forth. So maybe there was also not a good time to go and make this IPO, but I think, you know, when Uber was a 20 billion company, maybe there was the good time to go public, though they are now. So let's dive into the numbers, because this is why you click this video, and thumb up, subscribe if you want to have the latest stock news. Let's go. So looking into the numbers of Uber, we have actually two main points that we should look for as a shareholder when you are holding Uber shares. I think there's two main points that you should look into it. A, when and how long it will take to make them profitable. Second, how much loss they're doing actually, and why, and where they're investing their money. And third, what is the guidance and what they think will be the next thing after Uber. Because, you know, Uber has, as every product has its life cycle, and it will be very interesting what they are planning next and where they're seeing the future and how the revenue is actually split in. So let's see in the Q2 numbers if we can find some hints into that. So first, let's look into the loss that they have done. It's $4.72 versus $3.12 expected, and revenue they had 3.17 billion in this quarter versus 3.36. So loss per share is quite much more, about a quarter more. And the $1 billion revenue is a little bit less than expected. So let's have a look what the CEO Daura Khosrowshahi said. So he said that he thinks that the main investment will be surely in 2019 continuously, and they will think that in the 2020 as well as 2021 the losses will go down. However, will be very, very curious to see if this can really happen. And he is very convinced that the company actually can make a break even at one point. So very curious to see that as well. I like actually very much the word that they used. So he actually said, no doubt in my mind that this business will eventually be a break-even and profitable business. So I like really very much the funny word choosement here. So you know, it seems not that convincing after all. So in total they lost $1.3 billion. This is 30% more than last quarter. That's a huge jump. So you see how crucial this loss is actually, and how much they invest into the product, into the service, into the company. So let's go further. So the company actually stressed out that they also heavily invest into the food delivery, you know, other delivery like bikes, bike transportation, freight services, and also other services, whatever transport involves. So they want to be, actually, I heard one sentence by Daura, the CEO, that he said like they want to be the Amazon of transportation. So I'm very curious if they can reach this vision. So the main Uber ride-sharing business generated more than $12.19 billion in bookings, slightly more than the expectation of the analyst of $12.11 billion, though the Uber Eats, the most promising business unit afterwards, just generated 3.39 billion versus 3.51 expected. So the CEO stressed out that the Uber Eats is the most growing business units of Uber, and still they have a significant growth as well as investment into this business unit. What else was also important, that it seems that Uber really want to cut costs. They cut 400 jobs from the Uber marketing team, and overall in the whole world, global, there's 1,200 jobs. So about 1/3 that they cut of jobs to release a little bit of overhead costs to the balance sheet. I think that's a good step. If you want to go to profitable, I think you have to look into your company, how to make the business leaner, how to make it more profitable, and as well as more effective overall. Moreover, they stated that the business boosted over 30 million riders in 2018. They reached 100 million users overall on the platform, and still they're trying to keep the people on the platform. For example, in my instance in Dubai, I get like every week 50% off on all the rides as a bonus, so I'm using it obviously, and I think the Uber app app experience, or the app service product experience, is very strong, and I prefer that 10 times more than taxi. But thinking about other companies coming out with other services, I think all the big manufacturers of cars are working on similar products of car sharing, because they think that the future will be not that we buy cars, but really use ride sharing businesses. And this is actually coming to a close. For that, I believe that this is important, how Uber will react to that. They're making some tests of self-driving cars, though that stopped as well a couple of months because they had an accident when something happened. Though I think there's companies like Tesla, they are very much more ahead of Uber ever could be in the car self-driving business, but you never know. So let me know what you think, and if you are from France, where I'm here right now, leave comments. I love to see you tomorrow as well. Don't forget, the grass is greener on the other side. Peace.